What's going on, guys? Brian back to talk about Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 6. Obviously, spoiler warning if you're not up to date on the show. You probably saw the spoilers and saw the episode before I did, as I just watched it tonight. But I want to talk about it a little bit, so if you're interested in discussing it and just thinking about it again, here we go, guys. So, awesome episode, Season 7, Episode 6. I can't believe we got one more episode this season and 7 episodes in the entire series. Like I said, I thought the episode was great. The dead polar bear, the white polar bear, man, that was crazy. That thing was destroying the guys. It was just tearing them up, and I thought it was pretty cool. I want to talk about one thing in a second that I didn't see, and I think they kind of messed up a little bit about it. But overall, the Avenger squad, Jon Snow, Avengers, the White Walker squad, just a lot of great characters together, and it did not disappoint by any means. I thought the interactions between them was very cool, and I want to see more of that going forward, and I think we will. But we'll talk about that more in a second. So what does it mean with the letter, the note, the scroll, Littlefinger, Arya, Sansa? I was worried for Sansa there. I didn't know what Arya was going to do. I see Arya trying to find out information. I don't think she would ever kill Sansa, but you never know. I don't know what's going on with that. Arya is a different person. Sansa's trying to show leadership, trying to show her worth. She pushes Brienne Tarth away, but I don't know if she really thought that was the best decision after she did it, or what was going on with that. But what's up with Littlefinger? What's trying to be done here? I don't like it. I want to see this guy gone. Hopefully it's next episode that it is, so we can move on with that for the final season without Littlefinger. But I just don't know. It was a little disconcerting with Arya and Sansa. What'd you make of it? Post your comments below, guys. So back to Jon Snow, Tormund, Jorah, Gendry, just so many characters there. The Hound, just love it. And it was great, and it did not disappoint, but it was very sad at the very end. Of course, we'll get to that. Don't worry. But I want to talk about something right here. I didn't see any giant White Walkers. Did you? So I don't know if there's another group of them, or is that a mistake, or is that a plot hole? Was that just something that there's another group of them somewhere else? But I figured that was a big group of them, right? So I don't know what to make of that. I was just thinking that when I was going through the different photos that I have, and I just thought was like, what's up with that? There was a lot of the White Walkers and the Night King and everything was there, but there were no giants, but they were there clearly in the first episode. So what's up with that? Hopefully it'll come back around and get answered. So I just bring that up for discussion. But the fight scene, the trapped on there, you knew Daenerys and the dragons were coming, and I was kind of pissed because the spoilers were going around. People saw the episode earlier this week, and I don't blame people for watching it. That's fine. But what I didn't like is that people posted a picture of the Night King with the dead dragon, and it ruined it. I knew it was coming, and it was a shame, but overall, great episode. I loved how it was done. It was just very cool, and I'm just sad that we only have 7 more episodes left in the entire series. One more episode, the season finale next week, which I'm sure will come out this week because the hackers are posting it all over the place, but I'm not going to watch it because I want to be surprised on Sunday. But I just love Tormund. I could watch the Tormund and Jon Snow and the Hound show by itself. They're just hilarious. The Hound is just great. You could see he was struggling with the fire. Jon Snow falling into the water was like, oh my goodness, how's he going to get out of it? And then Benjen comes out of nowhere. He sacrificed himself, clearly, to have Jon Snow get away. The Hound with the fire, that was the wrong place for the Hound to be. I mean, right? The Hound was definitely not in the right place, but it was funny when he threw the rock and it hit the guy in the jaw, and then he threw another rock and then it stayed on the frozen lake, pond, whatever, and that's how they knew that they were ready to fight. And I love the fire swords. I love the fighting. I love how it was done. The dragons coming out of nowhere. I just can't wait to see what happens, and that's what this episode kind of set up down the road with, you know, the Night King has a dragon now. I thought Tormund wasn't going to make it, man, for a second there when he got swarmed, and then Jorah saved him, and the Hound saved. It was just great. I mean, you were just like on the edge of your seat the entire time. I figured somebody was going to die. It wasn't any of the main characters, you know, but it was still on the edge of your seat, suspenseful. It was great, and that's what you want in the episodes, right? I mean, I know I do, and I liked it. Like I said, post your comments below, guys, what you thought of the episode, what you make of it, where's it going, what's up with the Night King, you know, the White Walker dragon now, awesome stuff. And what was up with this guy? As soon as Jon Snow killed him, they all fell. So if you kill the guy that made all the White Walkers, or that person, I guess that Night King or whatever you call this guy, they all die, which is kind of cool. So if you kill the main Night King, I would assume all of them die, and then the threat is over. I still think Bran is going to be the ultimate one that takes out the Night King and the White Walkers. So I still have a feeling for that is going to be the ultimate thing, where Bran will be responsible for taking them out. So all this fighting, all this together, can you build an army to go against the White Walkers and the Night King is really all for nothing. If that's just my theory. So we'll see how it goes down. I can't wait to find out. Hopefully it is very satisfying. Game of Thrones does a great buildup of things, but then satisfying it as well. So we've had cliffhanger things, but then we had to wait for it, and I would assume that the season finale next week will be a cliffhanger going into the series finale, but we'll see. But they do have a way of things being satisfying, like the dragons, you know, burning these things up. I would assume the fire would spread a little bit more, but you know, the dragons were cool. They came in, you figured they were going to be there, and they did a good job as always. The CGI of the dragons is on point, but when they killed Viserion, or Viserion, how you ever say the name exactly, I know it's after her brother, but it was very sad to have any of the dragons go. You know, the dragons won't survive. I just think they won't. But it was just crazy. The Night King, the javelin thrower, should go out for the Olympic team. I love the memes going around already. I mean, the episode just came out and they're throwing these javelin memes around. But the way it was saying is that it didn't go in his heart. The fire kind of engulfed the dragon a little bit, and he was bleeding profusely, and then he fell into the water and died. And Jon Snow finally bend a knee for Daenerys. Thought that was great. You could see that Dany is having feelings for Jon Snow, and Jon Snow is having feelings for her. Don't know if anything will happen between them, but he pledged his sword and his allegiance to Dany to be the queen going forward, which is a big deal. But the big thing is the Night King has a dragon now, and I'm excited and scared and worried and, you know, anxious to see what's going to happen with that. Is the Night King going to be able to take out the other dragons and ultimately Dany? I don't know. We'll just have to find out. But I think all the dragons will eventually be dead. The big showdown next week, Cersei, Dany, them all coming together. It should be a great season finale. Hopefully it's not too big of a cliffhanger, if at all. But like I said, the Night King has his own dragon, his own weapon of mass destruction now. So we'll see what happens with that. There you go, guys. There are my thoughts on episode 6 of season 7 of Game of Thrones. Post your comments below, guys. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for the season finale. It'll be bittersweet because it's the last episode for the season. Then we got to wait a whole year for the final season. So like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, guys. And if you can, hit that subscribe button. Help us achieve our goal of 100,000 subscribers. Thanks, guys.